Hi everyone. A very good noon to all of you. Hi Sonali, how are you? Hello Vaishnav, good noon. All right. So 10 parts of this series have already happened. That means approximately we have learned approximately about 500 new words. Why I say approximately? See, some of you may already be good at vocabulary. So for you, the addition might be of just 350 to 400 words, while for the others who, let's say, are beginners in vocabulary, the addition may be of even more than 500 words, right? So we have learned quite a few words if you've been following me in this series from the beginning. Yes, I am also good, Sonali, thank you for asking. Right, so today, I'm going to talk to you about synonym questions, antonym questions. There's contextual vocabulary, right? There's an idiom question. There is a common confusable question. So today my focus has been on bringing varied question types, because ultimately in the exam I always tell you you have to solve questions. So that's why we should know how to eliminate, how to solve different types of questions, right? So let's see our first question for the day. You have to give me a synonym of the underlined word. Yes? So read the sentence and give me a synonym. Good noon, Arman. Hi, Prateek. I'm good. I'm good. That's good, Vaishnav. Good start. Hello, Prasanna. Good noon. So, how was the performance like, Vaishnav? If you want to share. Good noon, Virendra. A group of people from the society cleared up the raffle to celebrate the World Environment Day. So, what exactly did they clear? Okay. All right. So, okay, I'll come back to you, Vaishnav, on this. Good afternoon, Rishtu. Prasanna has answered. Varun has answered. What about others? Arman has also answered. All right. Sonali also says C. Okay. That's it. 4 responses. Okay. Prateek says C. So all of you think that raffle is rappers. Why? Because they sound similar. Is that the reason? So they cleared up the rappers or the refuse. See, I think when you read the word refuse, you took it to mean the verb refuse. When we refuse to do something for someone else, we basically say no to it, right? Rappers, we all know the meaning of, but doesn't refuse have another meaning? Refuse can be used as a noun also. And as a noun, what does refuse mean? The remains, the leftovers, the debris, the after a building is demolished, right? The garbage, right? So all of this is categorized as refuse. So here it's more likely that they cleared all the garbage, right? Rather than just clearing wrappers. So refuse is not just a verb, it is also a noun, right? Anything that is considered to be rubbish, garbage is called refuse. So good. Vedant, who said one. Excellent. Okay. Now, so Vaishnav, what thinking skills were you using earlier? You were saying that earlier I used to use my thinking skills and today I use critical reasoning. So earlier, were you not thinking critically? Uh, Also, was it working for you, whatever you were doing earlier? So, see, one passage was all correct. That means probably the language of that passage, the genre, the time that you devoted to that passage, all these worked in your favor, right? See what did not work in the other three. Okay, how did the skills that you use today, how are they different from the thinking skills? What answers would you land at if you had used those thinking skills? And if they are working for you, if you're getting more answers correct from your general thinking skills, then by all means use them. See, critical thinking is something that is required in our life. But when I talk about the specific question type of critical reasoning, it's a specific question type. So, strengthening the argument questions, weakening the argument, they are your critical reasoning questions, assumption questions, inference questions, right? And a couple of other advanced question types. So, use critical reasoning specifically in them, right? And if your general thinking skills, as you told me, they are working for you, no need to switch to critical reasoning for the other questions as well. Okay. And of course, please analyze that what did not work for you in the other three passages. Also analyze this. Did you spend so much time in one passage that you weren't left for an appropriate amount of time for the other three? Did that happen? Do analyze that as well. Okay. All right. So refuse, Arman, that is the verb form. You are talking about the verb meaning of refuse. Refuse is also a noun wherein it means rubbish, waste, garbage. Right? That's why one is our answer. So my attempt through this question is to show you that sometimes our question can be simple, but just because we misinterpret certain words or we don't pay enough attention. I'm sure when you said three, you also must have been thinking that why is it that they cleared only the wrappers, right? Why not the other kind of waste? So you also had this in mind, but then you felt, oh, this is the best out of the lot. So analyze the other options as well. Analyze each and every option and then eliminate. Okay. Let's have a look at this idiom question. The possible meaning of long row to hoe. If you've heard this idiom, if you've heard its usage, then I think you will be able to eliminate. Okay. What do you say? I've got my first response. Okay. Others? All right. So all of you say B. How did you eliminate the others? Yes, tell me. How did you eliminate the others? You are right. This is the answer. So, where does this idiom come from? Let's talk about that a bit. Whenever I learn idioms, I try to also learn their origin. Okay, learn about their origin, so that I remember the meaning for a long, long time. Now here I understand that the long could have been a clue for us, right? And that's why most of you said B. Row. So when farming is done, it is done in rows, right? Plants, crops, they are cultivated in rows, right? Hoe is this implement, this tool used by farmers for digging that land, okay, for preparing it for the planting of crops. So if a farmer has a long row ahead to hoe, that means they have a long challenging job before them. Okay, so this is the origin of the idiom. It comes from the 19th century America, wherein most of the areas were rural areas. So if a farmer had a long row to hoe, that means they had a long challenging job ahead of them, and it would be a long time before they get free. Hence this meaning. Okay. Yes, Virendra, it's not related to a person, so I think that's why C and D could be easily eliminated. It had to be one of the two, and this makes more sense because of the long. If let's say I'm purely guessing, then also I would land at B, right? Okay. Now coming to a fill in the blank, let's see what you say here. Hmm. These questions are Maximum 30-second questions, not more than that. In fact, you'll attempt them in even less time. Prasanna says C. All right. Others? Just one response so far. Try to eliminate. Okay, one more C I've got. Okay, so mostly C's, I mean 3 C's, 1 B. Okay, Sonali also says C. All right. So imagine an dash public figure. So the examiner is also pretty clever. All of these, they are vowel sounds. So of course they'll take an before them. So that means on the basis of grammar, I'll not be able to eliminate here, right? Imagine an dash public figure who's facing an inquiry into allegations of having obtained money by deception, attacked by press and public. Okay, so imagine a public figure attacked by press and public. Okay, so endangered, can I use it? I think the first one that I eliminated, I mean, I think it was one out of B and D when I read this question for the first time. So engrossed is when you're simply absorbed in doing something, let's say reading or any task that you're doing. So engrossed does not fit here. Endangered is used for those animals that are about to be extinct. So even that does not fit here. So I think it's very easy to eliminate B and D. Moreover, this figure is actually facing an inquiry into allegations of having obtained money by deception. Definitely, this person is not an empowered person, right? It's a positive word. I'm looking for a negative word here. So, absolutely correct. C is our answer. Embattled. Okay. Those two questions, okay. All right. So, two close options. I think, Vaishnav, you're talking about RC passages. I'll discuss this. Don't worry. Embattled, what does it mean? See, the word has battle in it. So what does it mean to when I say that someone is embattled? Are they facing a battle? Is that the meaning? So then yes, you are surrounded by enemy forces. It doesn't always have to mean that you're literally involved in a war. Whenever you are facing hostile conditions, we can call you embattled, right? So that's why C is our answer here. Hope this makes sense. And let's look at another fill in the blank question. 5 options this time. So this is a ZAT pattern question, patterned on the exam ZAT. Okay, I've got my first response. Okay, what else? Sai, yes. See, when you ask me this is a vocabulary session. Now, direct vocabulary questions are not asked in CAT. That is something that we've established. Direct grammar questions, again, not asked in CAT. But vocabulary is something that is needed to understand anything that you read. And you will be reading for 40 minutes, reading and solving for 40 minutes in your exam. So knowing various vocabulary words will help you not just with your RCs. You know how it will help you with your RCs. It will also help you with your VA part. Okay, at times, students come back from the exam center and tell me, I couldn't attempt this para jumble because it had some really difficult words. So what actually hampered their solving that parajumble? Vocabulary. So in that sense, yes, vocabulary is absolutely crucial. Okay, so in that sense, it will help you. D, A, that's it, two responses so far. What about others? So I am Nikita and I have just messaged in the chat box in case you're wondering who has messaged. Okay, I've got just three responses. I need some more to actually discuss this. Right, your participation is important no matter how difficult or easy you find a question here. Remember, we are just learning. I am not judging you. Also, you're not getting any negatives here. So some more responses. D, A, C. All right. Four responses. One more I need at least. That will also be just 25% of the class. So B no one has said so far and E no one has said so far. All right. B we have got, E no one has said. Okay. Just a second. E had only, it has three. All right. Fine. I thought it has just two words here. It was, let's eliminate. Okay. So E says it was dash that he made such a dash remark, considering that he always kept telling people to not be dash. Right. Now, language wise, if I look at, let's say grammatically, these words fit. Okay. And probably this person made a very biting remark. That also makes sense. Made a negative remark. Right. So, this second blank fits here. This third blank also fits here. But what about the first blank? What about the first blank? So what I'm trying to say through this sentence is that, it's very strange. I find it very strange that he made such a dash remark, that considering that he always kept telling people not to be dash. So I find this behavior to be contradictory to this person's nature, or to this person's, to what this person professed to other people, preached to other people, right? So when you find something in contrast, or when you find something as contradictory to what you expected, what is the word for it? The word for it is ironic. Okay, so it was ironic. You find it very ironic. Irony is when what you expect does not happen, rather the opposite of it happens, or when the reality is very in a stark contrast to your expectations. That is irony. Right. So you find this ironic. Good. Three of you who have marked A, you find this really ironic that he made such a caustic, such a burning remark, such a highly critical remark. Caust means to burn. We have caustic soda also, no? So caust means to burn. Right. That's why Holocaust is called Holocaust. Burning whole. That's the root of Holocaust, right? So he made such a burning, highly critical remark, considering that he always kept telling people to not be rancorous, bitter and angry. Rancorous is bitter and angry. Rancor is the noun form, rancorous is the adjective. Right. So actually it's the first blank that became the deciding blank here, and that's why this question was a moderate level question, right? Because if you see, spiteful fits in the third blank. Okay, in case you are judging this person, then moronic would fit. Otherwise, here the second blank, this is, I would say a worse fit as compared to some of the other options that I have, right? Uh, it was moronic. Okay, the judgment comes right in the beginning. That he made such a ironic. See, this one you could eliminate on the basis of grammar. It should be an ironic, right? Not a ironic. So those who mark C, Sai, yes. So notice grammar also when you attempt a vocabulary question. Sometimes it helps you. Okay. And let's look at the meanings of the other words. Moronic comes from moron, right? When we call someone a moron, we are calling them a jerk, essentially, right? Um, Oxymoronic, this does not fit here at all. This was just to confuse you. So D was actually easy to eliminate. An oxymoron is a figure of speech when we place two opposite words together, right? That is what is oxymoronic. You can't substitute oxymoronic for ironic. No, this is a way. Irony is about situations. Here we have a situation. Oxymoron is simply the placement of two opposite words. So if I call someone, let's say, a rich beggar, if I say there was a deafening silence in the room, deafening silence, these are all oxymorons. Okay, two opposite words placed together. And this does not fit here, moronic does not fit here, right? This seems to be a little extreme in B. Mordant, what does this word mordant mean? So many new words in this question. Mordant remark, something that is critical and very incisive also at the same time. Okay, critical and highly analytical, that is mordant. Okay, so satire can be mordant. It is especially a word that is used for humor. So if you've seen various satirical shows, right, they tend to be mordant. They're critical, incisive, and of course they are filled with humor, right? They make you laugh also. All right, now cannot understand critical. He has, just a second, what is happening? Okay, let me read the messages. We have 3 out of 8 attempting RCs. Okay, all right. So Sai, again I'll discuss about RCs right towards the end. We'll discuss your RC queries, don't worry. Okay, I think a lot of your worry is more psychological, right? Basically, I understand when you tell me, okay, I am getting these many correct, these many not correct, but beyond that it's difficult for me to gauge why that is happening. So it's only you who can communicate to me why exactly those other 5 were wrong, right? So communicate that to me so that I can suggest you solutions. Okay. uh, One more thing, if the passage is easy. Okay, okay. Okay, Vaishnav, I'll address this. It's a concentration issue. I'll address that. Sardonic. So Vedant has given a word sardonic. Sardonic means condescending. Okay, condescending. And so I'll give you an example of sardonic. Okay, so Professor Snape, when he talks to Harry, most of the times, right, especially during the classes, the potions classes, so he tends to be very sardonic. He is condescending also, and he makes fun of Harry. Yes, he makes fun of Harry. So sardonic is condescending and mocking. It belongs to this family. So you hear these words, you learn these words together, ironic, sardonic, but it has a very specific meaning when you're insulting and mocking someone, when you're looking down on someone. That is sardonic. Okay, so ironic we know, caustic we know, rancorous, moronic, spiteful. Again, when you are spiteful, you are very revengeful and bitter and angry towards other people, right? Then oxymoronic, we now understand it's a figure of speech. Mordant is specially used for humor. So I think this is a word that you may be able to use a lot in your conversations also when you're discussing some satirical shows, right? Biting is again something that's very harshly critical, so it bites you, right? Acerbic, yes, those who've done, those I mean, who were fond of science in school, right? Acerbs, do you remember acerbs? Acerbs are acids. So acerbic is again very harshly critical, very highly critical, such that it is acidic. Your words are acidic, right? So these are very close synonyms, caustic and acerbic. Okay, I hope this makes sense now. So many new words just through one question. If any word is not clear, please ask me. Okay. Patronizing. Yes, patronizing fits with sardonic. Correct. Condescending is patronizing. Okay. Yes, Vaishnav, I agree. I agree. We get to know that towards the end, right? So, for the most part, what we see is that he is sardonic. Now, analogy. Give me the most similar relationship to the one that is given to you in the question. Critical is when you criticize something, when you say negative things about them, right? That is critical. Okay. So I'm getting responses faster for this one. Easy question, right? So not all your vocabulary questions are going to be tricky. Okay, it's going to be a mixed bag. And this is the case for all the OMETs. So bees to pollen, analogy. So just like a bee, what is the relationship of a bee to a pollen? It is responsible for spreading these pollens, right? It is responsible for the process of pollination. It's a carrier. Similarly, a butterfly also carries nectar, right? A butterfly also sucks nectar from a flower and carries it. So just like a bee will take the pollen, right? Butterfly also will take the nectar. And that's the relationship here. The other words do not fit. Okay? So C is the answer. Now, look at this one. Okay. What do you say? Yes, you are right, Virendra. They also feed on them. They not only carry them, they also feed on them. Yes. B Bangalore. Okay. So I think just like a piano has keys, we are talking about musical instruments here, right? So which is the closest? I think computer is to keyboard, microphone is to sound, they can be rejected. So between B and C, why B and why not C? Drums is to sticks. So just like you play the keys and music, you get music from a piano. Similarly, when you strum the strings, you get music from a guitar. This is closer. This idea of keys and strings is conceptually closer as compared to the idea of drums and sticks, right? So you don't, in a way, you don't strum the sticks in a similar manner, right? You beat the sticks in a way. So that's why B is closer as compared to C. So this was again conceptual, and this previous one relied on your general knowledge as well as your capacity of elimination, right? So analogy questions can be easy also. It's not that they're always difficult. Now, look at this question here. It will require a considerable amount of your time. You have to fill in the blanks. Now, these are the sentences. Okay, 4 sentences are given to you, and these pairs are given to you. So one word out of this pair will fit in a particular sentence. So these are your word pairs. Now tell me which is the best answer choice out of these. Yes, correct, Virendra. Absolutely. Okay. I've got 2 responses already. B, D. Okay, mostly B's I've got. What else? So you can start from the easiest sentence in such questions, right? Whichever sentence, whichever word you find the easiest, start from there and eliminate. Correct, Sahil. Yes, Virendra stated that. Okay, so A, B, D, that's what I've got. That means except C, I've got all the options. The wine's flavors and aroma were a perfect dash to the meal. I think for me, this was the easiest sentence out there. Even 4 was easy for me. So I would start from C and D. So the wine's flavors and aroma were a perfect. Which complement should I use here? The one with I or the one with E? This I complement means that I am appreciating or praising someone, right? Whereas this E is used when I want to talk about something completing the other thing, something enhancing the other thing. So that's the idea that I want to convey. No, complete, enhance. See, so many E's in the meaning also. So 3 will not take I complement, it will take E complement. Okay. Similarly, if you look at the fourth one, she took the dash of her life into her own hands and pursued her dreams. So she took what? The charge of her life, yes? The leash of her life into her hands. So the word for that is not R-E-I-G-N. Okay, the word for that is R-E-I-N. Okay, she took the reign of her life. It was a perfect complement to the meal, right? Not I complement. And I'm sure that when I talk about a funeral, the word eulogy comes to your mind. So the eulogy delivered at the funeral was deeply moving, right? What is a eulogy? Words said in the praise of the deceased. Okay. And elegy is also related. Elegy is also related, but it is not the best fit here, right? Elegy is actually a funeral song. Okay. It's confused with eulogy. Okay. But it's a sort of a poem. It's something very literary in nature. So it's a type of a poem. And although elegy could come here, however, because of the other options, it is eulogy that is a better fit here, right? So we could call it a funeral poem or song. Okay. Now coming to the first one, the artist's work was a celebration of the dash human form. Okay. So sensual human form means the bodily. So we are talking about the bodily human form here. The artist's work was a celebration of the human body, right? So for instance, M.F. Hussain has drawn some works that are a celebration of the human body. So that's why sensual will come here. I understand that, actually sensual and sensuous, they're closely related ideas. Sensuous is concerned with something that appeals to your senses, that your senses like, right? So that is sensuous. So for instance, let's say you looked at a flower and you found it beautiful, right? So it appealed to your senses. It in fact gave you a lot of happiness looking at that flower. So that is sensuous, something that appeals to the senses. But because I said human form here, so definitely I'm talking about the human body. Sensual means bodily or fleshly, and therefore it is sensual that is a better fit here. आया समझ सबको? Complement, correct. And I hope now, Sai, the difference is absolutely clear to you. Sensual and sensuous. Sensual is a neutral word which is just related to human body. Sensuous, on the other hand, is something that we find very appealing to the senses, very beautiful, okay, very pleasing. So it's a positive word in that sense. But here, because we were talking about human form, human body, sensual was a better fit. And therefore, A is our answer. So far, so good. Reign, R-E-I-G-N. What does this mean? REIGN is the rule, okay, the regime of someone, okay, the rule. So the reign of Akbar, of King Akbar, that would be okay. Yes. So Vaishnav, yes, we are on the last question of the day. Then we'll deal with all the questions. Yes. Just tell me what is the meaning of, what is the antonym of this word prevaricated? The politician prevaricated when he was asked about his party's failure to address the problem. So Sai says A. Prevaricate. When you prevaricate, you do not give a clear answer. That is prevarication. Okay, not giving any clear answer. So vacillate also means when your opinions, your decisions, they fluctuate. Equivocate also means the same, when you never take a clear stand, right? So if I ask you your opinion on a particular topic, you don't give me one clear opinion, you equivocate, you try to avoid it, get around it, give me both sides of the issue. Procrastinated, here I understand it's not an exact meaning of prevaricate, but this is also associated with, let's say, postponing answering a question. B is the answer, was unequivocal. Okay, nobody said B so far. Unequivocal. See, wasn't this your clue? See, if there is equivocated and unequivocal, they seem to be the opposite. No, so one of them has to be the answer. So when you are unequivocal, equi means both here, equal, giving equal weight to two sides. Okay, vocal is speaking. Unequivocal is having a clear stance on something. Okay, having a firm, clear stance on something is when you are unequivocal. So B is the antonym here. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. And now for your question. So, Vaishnav, I understand that you took a topic test today that did not go as you planned it to go. So, there are a few things that I would like you to evaluate. See, first, I think you're telling me that concentration was an issue. This is something that you are telling me. So, the issues that we identify are concentration. Um, it could be time management also, based on the fact, now this is just me inferring, based on the fact that you attempted one passage completely correctly while the other three did not go as planned. So probably you ended up spending a lot of time in this one passage, because of which, let's say, there was a little panic out there in the other three. Concentration happens when we are not used to reading. Okay, so this problem is addressed through a dedicated habit of reading outside the exam also, outside the mock also. You have to read every day, and this, let's say, these 20 minutes that you take out for reading, they have to be distraction free. So no mobile phones in that time, right? No other distractions. You should have adequate light, correct posture. You should not get up in between. Okay, so learn to read at stretches, at least a 20-minute stretch in one go. When you develop this habit, okay, it will reflect on your exam also. So it will help you to build concentration for your RC passages also. So I hope you'll do this. Time management, when I talk about it, see, although the timer is, see, the timer is not your enemy, but you you should not also become over friendly with it, right? There needs to be a balance. So there are some students who don't pay attention to time at all. There are other students who are so scared of the timer, they'll just keep looking at it again and again. You don't have to do either. There should be healthy time management. Look at it every 5 minutes, let's say, that is perfectly fine. So let's say if you looked at it in the first 5 minutes, you'll realize, okay, I need to finish this RC in about 8 minutes. 5 minutes have elapsed. Where am I? Check where you are currently. You should be on questions at this stage. You should have even attempted one question at least at this stage, right? So keep a healthy balance of time management. Please don't do this that you spend about 20-25 minutes in one RC. Then of course you'll have less time to attempt for the others, right? uh Sai, so this confusion, I understand that you were confused, but where does this confusion arise from? Is it a, let's say, lack of comprehension, that you don't understand the options carefully? Is it coming from a lack of confidence, that you always want to confirm, reconfirm, be 100% sure of what you are answering, right? So there are these two possibilities. Okay, when you're confused, either you haven't understood the passage properly, the options properly, or let's say you've understood them but you want to be 100% sure. उसके बिना आप आगे बढ़ ही नहीं सकते हो. You have to let go of this habit. Okay, if you are 70 to 80% sure about an answer, just mark it and proceed. We don't have the kind of time that we'll keep on confirming, reconfirming it. In fact, a lot of times this habit of confirming leads to marking the wrong answer at the end. We overthink and we mark the wrong answer. If this is a challenge, then this has to be addressed through regular practice by focusing on accuracy first. Okay, by building or brushing up our concepts, techniques of approaching questions first, and then gradually bringing in the element of speed. So practice outside your tests. 2 RCs every day to focus on accuracy. All right. Okay, so I think I've addressed Sai and Vaishnav's query. Ritik, your query, FIJs is a topic that I have taken in some batches. I'm yet to take in the others. So because you're an enrolled student, this will happen for you. And I will explain it in detail there because it's not something that I can cover in, let's say, 15 minutes also here. Okay, so do attend those sessions. In case it has already happened in your batch, watch the recording. Okay, then it will be crystal clear to you, I'm very sure. Okay. Any other query? Okay, welcome guys, welcome. I hope this addresses your queries. Vaishnav, I hope this addresses yours too. Okay. Now, you want to know more? You know what you have to do. Unlock the free trial. There are some more important announcements that I want to make today. You are aware of the test series also. These are our CAT 22 toppers. This is our new batch. Now, look here. This workshop will happen on the 30th at 11 a.m. Right? So, in case you are still confused about your strategy, then you should attend this. And very important, we will come up with a session called 100 Days to CAT 23 on 6th of August. See, by then the notification will also have been out. So we'll know we'll learn the impact of the notification in this session. We'll talk to you about a study plan, about various changes that may or may not have happened because of the notification. So all of that will be discussed in this pretty comprehensive session that will happen on the 6th at 11 a.m. Do attend it. It will save you a lot of planning effort, right? And yes, the All India Open mock is about to go live from 11th to 20th. Do take it. It's free for everybody. Register now. Okay. And see the features that we are offering you here. You'll get video solutions. Okay. For all the questions out there. Right. And we'll even give you a video attempt of how the best of our faculty members attempted. Right. So do take this. Please start taking mocks. Even if you're getting less marks, please don't be disheartened. This is something that happens with every aspirant. You are not the first one. So stop feeling that, oh, I am the only one who's getting low marks. Everybody else is doing well. In the beginning, nobody does well, and it's absolutely okay. All right. You just go, you improve from there. And yes, please follow us on various social media platforms. Okay. All right, then. This is it from my end. I'll see you next time. Yes, इस डेट के बीच में you can take it at any point of time. Yes. All right then. Bye bye. See you.